This video can wash away the fatigue of your busy day. Quietly observe. Listen quietly. I also wish you a beautiful dream. Do alien creatures glow? Or should I survive in the dark by eating poisonous gas? Scientists say life here can be stranger than science fiction movies. Imagine a planet 635 light-years away, where day and night can alternate forever. Oceans cover most of the surface. This planet is Kepler-22b. It is a second Earth, one of the most fascinating extraterrestrial planets ever discovered. He has what it takes to be the second Earth. But his secret can make him a man far beyond us, a world of wild dreams and nightmares. What exactly is this distant planet? What secret is hidden in its unique environment? What kind of life will be born? Be ready to accompany us to know the truth. An exciting journey to one of the most mysterious planets in the galaxy. Explore the universe in 2011. Kepler telescope made a groundbreaking discovery, a planet discovered during its lifetime. The star is named Kepler-22b. The telescope uses an indirect detection method. Whenever a planet passes in front of a star, the starlight will dim a little. Small changes in starlight are identified as planets. This method is called the zero-day method. Also helps determine planet size, orbital period, distance from the star, even the possibility of the atmosphere. The parent star of this Earth-like twin planet is named Kepler-22, about 635 light-years from Earth, equivalent to about 300 trillion miles. It is a star the size of the Sun, both radius and age. A similar yellow star is estimated to be about 4 billion years old, but Kepler-22 is about 20% dimmer than the Sun. Therefore, it cannot be seen with the naked eye from Earth. Remarkable. This planet's orbit is smaller than Earth's orbit around the Sun, only about 15% of the orbit. What if Kepler-22 were in our solar system? Its orbit will lie between Earth and Venus. In this case, strong radiation from the Sun can turn it into a fire. A lifeless world, like Venus. But the situation with Kepler-22 is different. Its star is 25% less bright than the Sun. So Kepler-22, heat received, 15% closer to the Sun than Earth. Yet less. So, the temperature on Kepler-22's arm may be similar to Earth's. Similar. The premise is that it orbits the atmosphere like the Earth orbits the Sun. However, if the rotation axis of Kepler-22 tilted like Uranus is almost tilted in its orbit. The climate can be harsh then, occurs between cool winters and hot summers. Extreme changes can go further if this planet is tidal. This means that one side of him is always facing the star, the other side is always in darkness. This kind of light and heat distribution will take place. Different regions on the planet were formed. Unique condition can determine where life appeared. On the illuminated side, conditions appear most favorable for life, will not change. Constant light from stars can stabilize ocean temperatures, prevent overheating. In this environment, organisms can adapt to eternal light. Use something like lighting, collaborative process to obtain energy. But there is also a trap here. If this planet is mostly covered with water, then the evaporation effect on the bright side will be stronger. Causes the greenhouse effect. This steam can exert significant pressure on the atmosphere, form dense clouds, causing violent storms and extreme temperatures. For complex life forms, such conditions can be very unstable. Survival is extremely difficult. Imagine the dark side, a world of eternal darkness. There may be adaptations residing there. Terrible creature of absolute darkness. There's no sunlight there that we are used to. Can life really exist under such conditions? At first glance it seems unlikely, but Earth has proven it. On the dark side, organisms may rely on chemosynthesis. This is a type, chemical reaction rather, the process of harvesting energy from sunlight, like the deep sea of the Earth. Microorganisms found in heat vents. These microorganisms may play a role. Basis of ecosystem, heat chemicals rising from the planet's depths. Also, as time passes, dark-faced animals can develop bioluminescence to attract food or communicate in eternal darkness. This type of bioluminescence, when there is no sunlight, in the world of light it will become an important survival tool. But it's hard to imagine. Complex creatures will evolve towards the darkness, formed regardless of the Earth in the deep ocean trench. There are unique creatures in the deep ocean with strange shapes, but we haven't found it anywhere else in the universe. Other life forms. So for now we can only assume. The most interesting part of the planet Kepler-22 is definitely day and night areas. This is the bright side of the planet, the area where the dark sides meet. Scientists think this can be the most comfortable living environment in life. If If this planet has an atmosphere, the temperature in the day and night zone can be stable enough, capable of maintaining the presence of liquid water on the surface, thanks to the balance of heat and cold. The water here can be in liquid form rivers, lakes, and even oceans. Powerful evaporation of the light side and cooling of the dark side can create atmosphere for sublime life. First forms of life may have originated from today, night, then gradually adapted to the rest of the planet. Some organisms like Earth have adapted to the phenomenon of effusion, like the deep ocean environment. Life on Kepler-22 can eventually spread into eternity. Light and dark areas develop unique adaptability. Although the conditions of Kepler-22 remain a mystery, but facing west, lockdown scenarios offer many opportunities for research. Regardless of the bright side, eternal night, or the boundary between day and night, each area has unique living potential. However, scientists believe day and night areas are most capable of sustaining the most complex ecosystems. However, future research on extraterrestrial planets may be disclosed, revealing the secrets of worlds like Kepler-22. Who knows? Maybe we will balance. First extraterrestrial life discovered. Say Kepler-22 has an atmosphere similar to Earth, has a moderate greenhouse effect. Its surface temperature can reach 22 degrees Celsius comfortably. However, it's also possible that its atmospheric composition is completely different. No atmosphere at all. If there is a lack of atmosphere, surface temperatures can drop to -18 degrees Celsius. But what if the atmosphere is similar to Venus, rich in dense carbon dioxide? Surrounding area, the surface temperature may increase 460 degrees Celsius. Fortunately, research shows Kepler-22 may be an ocean with a stable temperature, just like the oceans on Earth, stored for billions of years. Summer heat and uniformity is in distribution to regulate the Earth's climate. Also Kepler-22. There may be abundant water sources. Most of its surface can be averaged. Ocean coverage at depths of approximately 100 to 60 feet, although this region appears shallow compared to Earth's oceans. But don't forget, the volume of Kepler-22 is 2.4 times that of Earth. So the first challenge after arriving on this planet, probably looking for land. Its scarcity may be much greater than on Earth. And if you find land, another challenge is acting on it. The second unfriendly thing about Kepler-22 is its gravity. Volume of Kepler-22, about 2.4 times that of Earth. Scientists estimate its mass to be 36 times that of Earth. Therefore, its gravity is about 6 times that of Earth. If you weighed 175 pounds on Earth, so on Kepler-22 you would weigh 1,050 pounds. Combat power and even movement will be almost impossible, not to mention the spacesuit you're wearing. A spacesuit weighs about 290 pounds on Earth, would become a 1,700-pound suit on Kepler-22. Before we can travel to this planet, geosynthetics may need to evolve, a specialized spacesuit for back support, your legs and arms, to reduce the huge burden on your body. Otherwise, there is no such technology. Your journey will end. Maybe when you get out of the spaceship, the journey will end. Be careful of any dents in the ground, even in small canyons. Even if I fall, I can't get out. Fall speeds can exceed 120 miles per hour. Fall from a height of 160 feet. You will reach the ground in less than a second. Gravity doesn't just affect you. It will also affect all living organisms on the planet. The tree on its 22-branched Kepler can be short and stocky, has a thick diameter that can withstand great pressure. Despite growth restrictions, but the leaves and branches will be densely grown and compacted to reduce the risk of damage when compressed by gravity. To anchor itself and provide stability. Native tree root systems can be complex and deep. This structure will enhance the tree's resilience, allows the tree to maintain form, and under high gravity conditions exist. The only thing that can grow to become impressive, organism whose size could be algae. They will float on the water, therefore it is less affected by gravity. But before you dive into the water, confirm this. Scientists have not yet completely confirmed it. Sure, on this planet, there's an ocean. The composition of the water is unknown, even when there is water, before sampling and analysis. It's best not to rush into diving. If you can adapt after a while, life on Kepler-22 arm and live long. So prepare for more frequent birthdays. Because a year on Kepler-22, just 290 Earth days, shorter than an Earth year. Earth's twin planet has not yet been discovered. Most attractive prospect. You may find it complicated. The potential of multicellular life. This assumption is not without basis. If Kepler-22 has an atmosphere similar to Earth's, and its rotation axis is the same as our Earth's rotation axis, this will almost guarantee stability. Habitat determined. planet is located in the ideal planetary zone called the habitable zone, not too far to be covered in ice, not too close to being one fiery purgatory. Also, if it is confirmed there is an ocean, indicates that Kepler-2b is a complex life form. A world can arise and develop. The main problem is high gravity. What will life be like? We can speculate. Life on this planet will be complete, adapt to these conditions, has the same abilities as plants. They won't grow very large, and perhaps more like a multi-species reptilian species. This form distributes their weight better and easy to move. These creatures can be short, muscular and thick, have strong limbs to adapt to high-gravity environments. Their bodies will be optimized to overcome rough terrain, minimize energy consumption when using terrain, withstand the external environment. Many species can evolve to have armor covering their bodies. Hard skin. Armors can be dense and durable, but flexible enough to ensure proper mobility. It can be created by similar materials such as keratin or calcium carbonate, reinforced to withstand pressure and gravity. The exoskeleton not only protects against physical damage and predator attack, it also helps maintain shape, prevents deformation under gravity. Under high-pressure conditions, they also protect internal organs from pressure. Maybe some animals will use their exoskeleton for thermoregulation. There is a specialized structure to dissipate heat or insulate. This is especially true when the planet's temperature changes dramatically, because it is extremely important. Large creatures can survive underwater. The gravitational force will be smaller. Flying creatures. Kepler-22 is barely visible in the sky and sea, because high gravity makes flying almost impossible. But it's all based on NASA, astrobiologists at the office and other research institutions, and planetary scientists speculate on proposed models and hypotheses. Present, we have not been able to confirm them through observation, but we hope future technologies will allow us to do more rigorous research. Kepler-22, maybe we can find signs of life, if he really exists. If the assumption about gravity is incorrect, he just has twice the gravity of Earth. This would greatly increase the possibility of life existing. In this case, the only major obstacle we face, it's just distance. Kepler's 22 arms are 635 light-years away. On a cosmic scale, this is an insignificant distance, but with humanity's current capabilities, it is insurmountable. Present, the human speed record is held by NASA. Its speed is almost 119 meters per second. Although this seems very fast, but it is only 0.064% of the speed of light. Even at this speed, it would take 990,000 years to travel to Kepler-22. This is clearly not an ideal goal, especially the limitations of human life. There's no way we could go such a long way. We need a completely new approach. Scientists are trying to solve this problem. Experts are exploring, based on nuclear fission and catastrophe, etc., propulsion system concept. In theory, these systems could cause the spaceship to accelerate to 10% of the speed of light. That's 60 million miles per hour. But even so, it will still take 6,350 years to reach our goal. We can just forget about exploration. It's a distant planet, till we find one. Revolutionary method of interstellar travel. These are just assumptions. In fact, no one knows how it will develop in the future. What we currently know about this planet, life forms can be created. There is still much to know. Extreme life on Earth shows, even on seemingly inhospitable planets, life can appear and develop. Currently, let's continue exploring telescopes, other extraterrestrial planets discovered. In the process of searching for potentially habitable planets, scientists search for Earth's twin brother. That is, a planet very similar to Earth. Its size is comparable to Earth. This raises the possibility that its surface is stone. A planet must surround a sun. The same stars move, and the distance is just right for life to exist. Kepler-452b, this is the first one, was found. Earth-like planets orbit the sun's star. He could be a perfect candidate for a livable world. Back in 2015, scientists believe that the most Earth-like planet ever discovered. There's a reason. Like the Sun, Kepler-452 is a random star, similar temperature, but it is about 1.5 billion years old, brighter than the Sun, slightly larger diameter. This exoplanet has more solar energy than Earth, about 10% larger and 1.6 times the size of Earth. There's more than a 50% chance that the planet is a stone. The orbits of the two planets are also similar. Kepler-452b is in the star's habitable zone, about 5% farther than the distance between Earth and the Sun. Scientists think, compared to Earth, Planet Kepler 452, over 6 billion years of the star's habitable period. This provides valuable time for life development. The premise, of course, is Kepler 452b. Surface has conditions for the emergence of life. We recently found out Kepler meets some of these conditions. Study shows the planet's surface is thin. Concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is related to the amount of gas in Earth's atmosphere is similar. So this planet is habitable. If you live in this strange world, what kind of experience will it be? Because this planet is heavier than Earth. He may also have stronger surface gravity. In new environment, everyone needs to adapt to their changing weight. There will be one twice as large as Earth. Heavy feeling. Initially, people will have difficulty moving. But as time passes, we will gradually adapt, pave the way for natural evolution. Former NASA astronaut believes that, like a fireman carrying a heavy burden, our bodies gradually adapt to new environments. It's stronger gradually through increased physical activity. Our bones develop resilience. Resist the strong force of gravity that pulls us toward the ground. Then comes our next generation. Children born will have higher qualities than children born on Earth. A healthier body, but not everything is different here. Due to its current location close to the star, Kepler, sunlight and surface temperature for 5b will feel like very similar to Earth. Plants will still depend. Photosynthesis is the main source of energy. Keep an eye on the Earth. Similar growth rates and magnitudes were observed. Scientists also speculate this exoplanet may have a thick atmosphere. There is water and active volcanoes on the surface. If most of the predictions are correct, Kepler 452b is a very promising thing. Become a candidate for Earth 2.0. But he probably won't stay that way for long. Researchers estimate, about 500 million years later, this planet can suffer from the greenhouse effect. The same phenomenon as Venus became a fiery world. Bion Venus captures large amounts of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Its atmosphere is 90 times thicker than Earth's, but there are still 500 million years to go. Enough people to move in and call it home. Kepler 452b looks interesting. But it's not the only thing that shows up about a world of hope. Because it is very far away, even with today's most advanced technology created by humans, fast man-made objects. Its speed when approaching the sun is 120 meters per second. However, it is still only 0.063% of the speed of light. If you imagine going from Earth to Kepler, direct travel of 452b, detectors are still needed, a staggering 2.8 million years to travel through the vast space of 1,800 light years. 500 light-years from Earth. In the constellation Cygnus there is Kepler 186. This is a red dwarf star. Scientists discovered the first one here. Earth-like planets orbiting stars. Located in a livable location, astronomers have since been convinced there are many things in the universe that are related to the Earth. The world has a similar diameter. Their surface conditions may permit the presence of liquids. Kepler 186f is less than 10% larger than Earth. The orbital period is 130 days. This alien world is in the habitable zone. Hence the heat he receives. About 1/3 of the energy Earth receives from the sun, making its conditions more like Mars. However, difference provides a unique advantage. Dwarf stars are known for their role as powerful elixirs from the sun. Brightness can double in a few minutes. 186 stars are smaller than the sun, all quality and low temperature, as bright as the sun. Therefore, although red dwarf-type stars often emit radiation, but this thin planet may be round enough. Fatal consequences can be avoided. Water flow on Kepler 186f. And the existence of life not only depends on its distance from the star, also depends on atmospheric conditions. Current location can indicate there is frozen water on the surface, but its size is larger, allowing it to have a denser atmosphere than Earth. Can retain and distribute heat. Can warm water. Sizes of the remaining 4 planets in the system. There's only about half of the Earth. Their orbital period is very short. This makes the star's companion inside very hot, not compatible with life as we know it today. It would take 780,000 years to reach Kepler 186f. But imagine, in the distant future, we will invent a means, a spaceship traveling at 90% the speed of light. About 550 years later, our children and grandchildren will set foot on Kepler 186f. What will their experience be like? Kepler 186, a red dwarf. The star is smaller than our sun, about 25 times darker. If you are standing on the surface of an alien planet at noon, the brightness of the star will be similar to what we see at sunset. Brightness of the sunset seen about an hour before. Scientists say, planet maintains a stable axial tilt, provide it with regular seasons and a stable climate. Just like on Earth. According to calculations, scientists are sure Kepler 186f inclined axis remains stable for tens of millions of years. It is important to establish this stability because the axis is inclined and cause harmful consequences, turning a habitable planet into a poor planet. Crowded and uninhabitable world. Think about Mars. Its unstable tilt, maybe at the right time. Adverse conditions are forming. Plays an important role. The search for planets with favorable conditions for life continues. Some of the best candidates are often discovered by accident. 2020, when considering past observations. Kepler 16409c was discovered by accident, initially misclassified based on appearance. Scientists don't know much about the world, including what its atmosphere will be like. But because Kepler 16409c receives 25% less starlight than Earth, and its orbital period is only 19.5 days, it may have temperatures similar to our planet. If Kepler 186f lack of air to retain heat, its surface temperature will be around -38 degrees Fahrenheit, although this doesn't seem very powerful. But what if there were no greenhouse gases? Earth's temperature will also be lower, about 0 degrees F, even if the two planets have similar atmospheres. Kepler 186f, still more greenhouse gases are needed to compensate for this difference. There are many planets in the universe that are getting warmer, similar in size or extent to Earth, such as TRAPPIST-EF, TRAPPIST-ED-Terrank, and TRAPPIST-700d. These exoplanets are closer to us. So far, Kepler 16409c seems out of reach. There are about 470,000 years of travel between us and this planet. But when the time comes, it will be a worthwhile journey. Because of these things, there are no nearby planets that compare to Kepler. Fit for this extraordinary extraterrestrial planet. It may not only be related to the temperature and size of our planet, similar features remains comfortably within the habitable zone of its star, making it a truly remarkable discovery. The star system also has a second planet, named Kepler 16409b. Its size is about 8% larger than Earth's, but closer to the infrared star, because these two planets are quite different. The typical orbital period ratio is for 9. There may be a third planet hidden in the system. Will soon be the next generation of observatories. Give us more information about these worlds. Clues to viability. At the same time, we'll also explore, find another impressive celestial body. It is located 1,100 light-years away in the constellation Lyra. It orbits a star with a period of 112 days. Distance is about half the distance between the Earth and the Sun, close as possible. Causes many problems in life. General, planets orbit tidal stars. As a result, its surface environment can be very harsh. However, Kepler 442b, star's gravity does not cause tides outside the locked range. Light is usually dimmer than the Sun. Kepler 442 itself is also smaller, cooler star, so this exoplanet is around him. Relatively suitable. Star's rightmost position is about 0.4 astronomical units. Scientists think E-type stars are easy to find, sweet spot in the world. Though they are not as bright as G-type stars, don't last as long as M-type red dwarfs. But they offer a powerful combination of attributes. Only 100 light-years from our Sun, there are at least 1,000 K-type stars. These processes, dwarf stars live from 15 billion to 45 billion years. The Sun passes over us. The entire lifespan is about 10 billion years throughout the life of the Sun. Dwarf star's brightness only increases by about 10% to 15%. The Sun will probably appear in a little while, making the Earth uninhabitable within 1 billion to 2 billion years. So what are the prospects for Kepler's second force moves? Astronomers love the grounds, habitability of a planet. Classify them. Comparative viability index updated. Improved previous method. Taking into account many factors. He considered the composition of the planets. Prefer rocky planets. Also consider the eccentricity of the orbit. This affects the light received from the star. And thermal stability. This index also takes into account the planet's atmosphere, the amount of solar energy reflected. These comprehensive elements plays an important role in determining viability, effective even when the trajectory is irregular. Like the Earth Similarity Index, comparative vitality index ranges from 0 to 1. Higher values indicate higher potential viability. In these two indicators, value of Kepler 442b is about 0.84. Unfortunately, this off-screen planet is so dim it's smiling. Our current telescopes cannot point directly. Not to mention traveling to Kepler, went to two places for times, even if it is the fastest currently produced by mankind. Space exploration speed, it will also take 1.7 million years to achieve. However, what we can do is a study looking at potentially habitable exoplanets, radiation level received. Kepler 442b is especially interesting among them. the sunlight he received almost enough to support an observable biosphere. James Webb Space Telescope can detect him. When the James Webb Space Telescope, when studying this world, we might also want him to outline the scope of his observations, expand to the same star. There are 2 stars in the Kepler-62 star system. The planets lie comfortably in the habitable zone, and 3 other planets in the system, because it's too close to a C-type star, causing them to overheat. Not suitable for life. Scientists discovered Kepler-6.2 billion and Kepler-62f particularly attractive. They may be water-rich worlds. Earth's 2 exoplanets. The similarity index rankings are 0.83 and 0.69. respectively. Kepler-6.2 billion orbits every 122 days. Star travels for a week. The orbital period of Kepler-62f is 267 days. Kepler-6.2 billion's atmosphere is densely covered with clouds. This planet is said to have sustained. The climate is warm and humid, even extending to the polar regions. These conditions making it a particularly favorable environment to support life. A 2014 study found Kepler-6.2 billion may have a large satellite. If this assumption holds, after that, this fragile exoplanet may be habitable. The possibilities of the world will increase a lot. This is because large satellites are useful to support complex operations through tidal forces. The evolution of life is very important. They help regulate the planet's rotation and axial tilt. This has a direct impact on climate patterns. Satellites also provide a protective barrier. A deflection or absorption could come from an asteroid or comet. Star impact by protecting the planet and its inhabitants. Although Kepler-62f is located further away, surface temperature may be lower. It still has the potential to be life-friendly. Even if this assumption is correct, it seems difficult to imagine a technologically advanced civilization. Difficulty due to lack of land, basic elements of metal and fire, like wild processes important to technological progress, seems impossible. However, the complexity of nature is small. More than us, creative beings open up possibilities. Can find, in addition to our current technological achievements, alternative method, even though they live underwater. If human decision send a message about the habitability of these strange species, any in the world, intelligent extraterrestrial life, they won't get it for another 1.85 million years at the earliest. But if today we send a radio signal, in just 1,000 to 100 years he will, to these 2 extraterrestrial planets. On a cosmic scale, that's just the blink of an eye. Now though Kepler-6.2 billion and Kepler-62f, there's not an ideal twin on Earth today, but planetary systems continue to change. Essence brings hope. These worlds can undergo transformative changes. Our Earth was once completely covered by oceans. But as time passes, it became an existing continent, a diverse world of land and water. Researchers speculate that these off-screen things, the future of the planet, it is speculated that they may eventually evolve into something similar. Earth environment, living in harmony between land and the surrounding ocean. At the same time, even on Earth, we also have strange creatures like flying fish. So let's say that on these extraterrestrial planets, living creatures exist. They can be quite complex, not unreasonable. In the process of researching distant worlds, one of the biggest challenges is the design, distance to the west, but we may not have to wait ultra-advanced telescopes to tackle this challenge. Kepler and European Space Agency data. Among all the sun-like stars in the universe, half of them probably have a potentially habitable rocky world. Some of them are constant. Stars may be hidden near our universe. This area means, within 20 light-years of our solar system, there's at least one Earth. The twin planet is hidden somewhere. How long do you think we need, close to the solar system, to find a fully habitable world? How will discovery change the course of human history? Thank you everyone for taking the time to watch this video.